student, Rise of Nationalism in Europe. This is rapid revision for the very first chapter of our history book, which has a huge weightage in our class 10th exam. So my dear students, I know that this chapter is so difficult. In this session, in just 10 minutes, we are going to cover complete chapter. So we know that the chapter starts with a picture, right? And the picture is of picture made by Frederick Sorrow. What we need to cover in this complete chapter is the French Revolution and the role of French Revolution in raising the sentiments of nationalism within the people. Then we need to cover about Napoleonic Code. Code ke alawa, then we have the liberal nationalism, a new ideology that emerged in Europe in 18th century. Custom Union, Treaty of Vienna, Romanticism, that's also known as Romantic Imagination, then Age of Revolution, Frankfurt Parliament. After Frankfurt Parliament, we'll talk about the most high weightage topic of this chapter, that's Unification of Italy and Germany, many time asked by CBSE board, and then we will talk about strange case of Britain and the most tough topic which student considered, that's Balkan area. So this is the roadmap for today's session. Let's begin. So when the chapter starts with a picture. This picture was made by a French artist, was basically painted by a French artist in the year 1848. In the year 1848, the name is Frederick Sorrow. What he painted in this picture was the idea of nationalism, that how nations want to become nations, how the theory of nation emerged in Europe when they wanted a defined territory, a defined flag for their nation. In this picture, he represents that I want a nation that is democratic, social and republic. So what is the title of this picture can be a question in your MCQ exam. The next important topic, what we studied in class 9th was French Revolution. Okay, but in the French Revolution was one common thing we have seen, that all those people who were participating in French Revolution had a feeling of nationalism. They were considering that territory as a nation, how that nationalist feeling came within the revolutionary. This is the most important and most asked question in our CBSE board. So what you need to focus is on these underlined words right now, that the feeling was developed about la patrie, that means fatherland, and les citoyens, by I am the citizen of this fatherland. To enhance this feeling, they have made a French flag. This was tricolor, replacing the royal standard flag. Then we see a formation of a national assembly that's basically elected by the people. However, UAF was not provided, that's universal adult franchise, but some of the members were allowed for the very first time to vote and form their own national assembly. Then hymns were composed, oaths were taken, martyrs were commemorated, a centralized administrative system was made, internal custom duties were abolished, and the very most important, the role of language. French was promoted in a manner that there should be no disunity among the commoners, among the people. So this is the most important question that comes in the topic, and then in the picture comes Napoleon uncle. How he comes? We know that Napoleon was a liberal leader who fought many wars, and after the wars he get victory. 1804 was proclaimed the Emperor of France, okay, the dictator of France, Napoleon. But he no doubt destroyed democracy. We agree with the point. But he has planned a very good administrative system. Very important question for class 10. But he did away all the privileges on the basis of birth. Koi ucha, koi nicha nahi rahega. There will be equality before the law, and right to property will be provided to all of them. Get my point? This code was exported to the region where Napoleon was granting its autonomy, was granting its power. And now a big empire is being ruled by Napoleon. He need to have a good administrative system. He made a centralized administrative system focused on abolishing what feudal system, serfdom, freeing the peasants, making trade like possible for everyone out there. And we are done with a very important question, that's what is Napoleonic Code. My dear student, this is how a nation-state concept emerged. When nation-state concept emerged, they wanted a clearly defined territory in which all the citizens shall have the rights. So basically, they are demanding for freedom, and here the world's biggest, what we can say, philosophy emerged in Europe, that's liberalism. So liberalism or liber is a Latin word which means freedom. And here the nations are demanding liberalism in three aspects: social, economic, political. What do you want in society? You want freedom. Right? Freedom of individuals. You want equality of individuals. In political sense, what do you want? You want government that's elected by yourself. That means government by the people, or representative government in which a parliament chosen by the people is ruling the region, not a dictator like it used to be in major parts of Europe. Okay, and if we talk about economic sense, my dear students, in economics, what's that? They want freedom of markets. By so many custom duties were relied, right? Now, so many custom duties, you need to pay tax at every territory you are crossing, and my God, the product will become so expensive. To reduce that, economic freedom was demanded. Okay, so here in the European world, after the emergence of national state, a philosophy is emerged that is known as liberal nationalism. Three demands are there. A 5-marker question is for sure, that what do you mean by liberalism? Explain it in social, political and economic aspect. Right? Did you get this point? Now, because of this liberalism, a concept came in particularly certain states, German states, which was led by Prussia. They said that, okay, let's bring economic unification. Let's bring economic liberty. So a group was formed, that's Custom Union, by the initiative of Prussia. Right? Custom Union, also popularly known as Zollverein, initiative of Prussia. Remember this. To abolish the tariff barriers, like tariffs which were applied after every territory when we move one product from one place to another. Okay, to abolish the tariff barrier and reduce the number of currency from 30 to 2. So custom union, 3-marker question, 2-marker question prepared by my students. But do you think that in a state where dictators were there, where monarchy was there, they might be happy with the liberal ruler? They might be happy with the Napoleon? No. This is the time they all clubbed together, came together, defeated Napoleon in the Battle of Waterloo, because they were pretty sure if Napoleon ruled for some more years, we will lost a whole of Europe, because he was a liberal leader. He was not providing political liberty, but he was providing liberty that were not provided by monarchy or dictators. So here, all these people came together, referred as new conservatives, in the Battle of Waterloo, defeated Napoleon. A treaty was signed, popularly known as Treaty of Vienna in 1815. Okay, treaty was headed by a Austrian Chancellor, Duke Metternich. Okay, this person has a good role in giving statements, right? So, Treaty of Vienna signed in 1815, in which British, Russia, Austria, Prussia defeated Napoleon. 1815, Austria, Duke Metternich, in which territories were divided in such a way. What was the objective? That no longer Napoleon can establish its power, and monarchy can be re-established or restored in majority of Europe. Get my point? This was the objective of Treaty of Vienna. Let's recall from where we started. We started from Louis XVI in class 9th in French Revolution, where conservative regime was seen. Then it was replaced by liberals who demanded for freedom. Then new conservative who asked whom? Napoleon to go back. Napoleon chacha bye bye. Now we will rule again in Europe. But do you think that if in a pressure cooker we will increase the pressure, it will whistle out someday? And this is what happened in Europe. Revolutionaries came in picture. The first among that revolutionary is Giuseppe Mazzini. Okay, Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian revolutionary born in 1807 in Genoa. At the age of 24, arrested by performing a revolution in Liguria. But he is very, very popular for Italy, he is very, very popular for forming what? Young Italy, Young Europe organization and viewing the idea of Italian unification for the very first time. He saw that Italy will be a nation for the very first time. He dreamt of it. Right? Now revolutions are rising in Europe. Why will France lag behind? Now France came into picture 1830. Pay attention. By Treaty of Vienna in 1815, what was established in France? Monarchy. 1830, people revolted. This monarchy is replaced by constitutional monarchy under Louis Philippe as monarch. Pay attention, it's constitutional monarchy under Louis Philippe as monarch. Then we have in the picture Belgium. Belgium was like made a union territory by Netherlands. Now after France will do the revolution, the rest of Europe catches cold. So Belgium also in 1830 there is a revolution. Same it is in 1832 Greece. Now Greece was a part of Ottoman Empire, wanted to become independent, and Greece took the backup of their culture, considering that we are cradle of European civilization. Bhai, in Europe civilization is started by us, and now how you will rule us? We want freedom. So 1832 also the Greece become independent and out of Ottoman Empire under Treaty of Constantinople. Now comes the point here, culture. I used a word what Greece was taking a backup, that was culture, my dear students. Yes, folk songs, whenever we hear, we get goosebumps, right? Whenever we see our national flag, we feel something connected to our nation. So this concept is known as romantic imagination or romanticism. When culture, folklores, folk plays, language play an important role in raising national sentiments. Whenever we are in love with someone, no signs, nothing works, na? Similarly, when you are in love of your nation, no science, nothing works. Here what works are your mystic feelings, your thoughts, your attraction towards your nation. Okay, so this is all about romantic imagination. 3 examples, because the question comes. Explain it with the help of 3 examples. Germany, you will write about Johann Gottfried Herder. Then you will write about Karol Kurpinski in Poland, who took the language as the basis. And then you will talk about an issue, that's Poland-Russian occupation. Get it or not, right? Now we talk about the period between 1930 to 1948, by quite difficult for Europe. Why? Because the economic condition was not going good. Everywhere there was either monarchy or constitutional monarchy, and monarchs are just working for their pockets, not for European people. So everywhere in Europe there was hunger, hardship, popular revolt. Whenever there is revolt, who stands first? France. When France sneezes, rest of Europe catches cold. So here is the time when France even overthrew the constitutional monarchy and France became a republic nation in the year 1848. Pay attention. Then we have a case of Silesia, not to learn so much because question don't come from that topic. But when France became republic, will the German nations leave behind? No. Stay behind? No. They also came into picture again with the initiative of Prussia. Now they met at a parliament popularly known as Frankfurt Parliament. Okay, popularly known as what, beta? Frankfurt Parliament. If we talk about region, this was German region. Some around 800 members, I guess it's 839 members. Sorry, it's 831 members who met at Frankfurt Parliament. The objective was to unite that German region and have a constitutional monarchy that works according to the constitution. We'll have a representative body, parliament in Germany, and then the constitution will be formed. This was the objective of Frankfurt Parliament, but it failed. Why? The major issue of its failure was that, dear students, pay attention, whenever an initiative for German unification was done, it was suppressed by the group of monarchy, military and large landowners. Bhai, sabke paas paisa hai, they wanted not to share it, right? So it was every time repressed by them, and this was the same time when they went to the monarch of Prussia, ki bhai, you become the monarch, right? But constitutional monarch. He said, oh, what are you thinking? Am I mad? I will do this. Not at all. I'll not accept the offer. When we talk about its member, there were everyone, majority of them were middle class. They were reluctant to hear the demands of workers and peasants was like, what is this nonsense? We are majority of population and you are not hearing about it. Third reason for failure was participation of women. Women, from a longer time being the participant of revolutionary, were treated merely as observers in Frankfurt Parliament. Do you think that this will become successful? No, it failed. Get it? Now we are moving towards the most important topic of rise of nationalism in Europe. I know everything is going in speed because you have exam right away and you are just revising the chapter with this 10-minute rapid revision, right? Now we have unification of Germany. So as practice was done in custom union, Frankfurt Parliament but failed. This is the time Prussia took the leadership. Ottoman Bismarck is the main person. He fought 7 years, 3 wars for 7 years with Austria, Denmark and France, and finally in January 1871, Prussian King Wilhelm was proclaimed the German Emperor. Ban gaya Germany. Now we will talk about Italy. If we talk about Italy, भाई this is the politically fragmented region. कहीं पर कोई rule कर रहा है, कहीं पर कोई rule कर रहा है. If we talk about North, it was Sardinia, Piedmont, the only Italian princely ruler ruling over there. Then we had Lombardy and Venetia, that's occupied by Austrian people. Like see, this region was Sardinia, Piedmont, this was Lombardy, Venetia, Austrian people. In the center of Italy, we have Pope ruling over there, and the South Sicily, that's kingdom, Bourbon dynasty of Spain ruling. Okay, so politically fragmented. Who bought first time the idea that Italy should be same country because we have common speaking language? It was Giuseppe Mazzini, a revolutionary. He did revolution, 1831, 1848, failed. So finally the responsibility to make Italy a nation fell on the soldiers' shoulders, on the shoulders of the ruler over there. And it was Victor Emmanuel II ruling in Sardinia, Piedmont. Okay, now Sardinia, Piedmont, this ruler was helped by a chief minister, very diplomatic person, smart enough. That's Chief Minister Cavour. He defeated the Austrian forces. That means the territory of Lombardy and Venetia came in their pocket in 1859. And then comes a hero, that's Garibaldi in the picture, Giuseppe Garibaldi, who have no relation with Mazzini here. Giuseppe Garibaldi, he went to South Sicily in 1860, made a group of military forces popularly known as Red Shirts, fought there, won victory and got South Sicily merged with Italy. Very first time this is United Italy, 1861. Year should be remembered because we can get confused with so many years in history. Okay, 1861, United Italy with ruler Victor Emmanuel II of Sardinia, Piedmont. Get my point? Okay, this is about unification of Italy. We have 2 more topics left. That strange case of Britain. And then we will talk about the most difficult topic, that's Balkan issue. I don't know why you feel scary of that topic. So, talking about strange case of Britain. Okay, like see, this region of Britain was divided into different islands, group of islands, like English speaking people, England, Scotch speaking people, Scottish speaking people, Scotland, Irish speaking people, Ireland. Then we have Wales also. So in among them who became powerful, English became powerful. They made the parliament in 1688. As they made the parliament, they wanted other islands to be suppressed by them. So they signed Act of Union with Scotland. Everything was suppressed, language, culture, koi kuch nahi bolega, English bolega. Then Ireland was also signed forcibly a treaty, that's United Kingdom. Ireland was also forcibly signed the treaty with Britain, and this is how it is now known as United Kingdom of Great Britain, where English will be spoken. God save our noble king. This national anthem will be sung and national flag was made. Get it? This is all about what? Britain. Now we will talk about Balkan issue by pay attention. We are here talking about Central Eastern Europe. Who was ruling here? Ottoman Empire, Islamic Empire from 300 years. Monarchy, suppressing the people, no rights were given to them. In this large group of area, different ethnic dynasty, different ethnic identity people were living. For example, Greece region, Greek people were living, right? Turkish people were living, Iranian people were living, and all of them. Get it? These citizens were referred as Slavs. Empire was Ottoman Empire. Now they wanted their separate territory because the idea of nation is spreading. France became a nation, Italy became a nation, Germany became a nation. So in 1870s, Balkan crisis was in fire. What happened? These Slavic nationalists struggled to find their own culture, their own territory. They wanted by this is my territory, this is my nation. And in this picture, what happened is sometimes our neighbors are fighting, we enjoy seeing them. It happens to us na. Similarly, when Balkan peoples were fighting, Britain, Russia, Prussia, oh, हमारा तो हो गया, हम तो बन गए देश. Now it's your turn, we will enjoy because here it is Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and many more important things. So they interfered in that fight, resulted in so many battles, finally resulted in the First World War. And relax because you have completed the chapter in just not 10, 20 minutes. So here we are ended with the very first and important chapter of history. Meet you soon in the next chapter in rapid revision by your SST ma'am, Tanvi Ma'am.